I have made no qualms about being straightforward with the fact that I do not like Jon Kent at all. I think he's a wasted character that could have had so much potential that could have been built upon, and it all was just wasted to just shove this gay shit down your throat that nobody wants. Absolutely nobody wants. A failure of a character, and this is a typical type of behavior for DC Comics. Now, according to this article from Bounding into Comics, Superman, son of Kal-El writer Tom Taylor, that's the delusional hack who writes that god-awful series, says Jon Kent being an empathic young bi guy is far more heroic than somebody punching a supervillain in the face. This is when you just know that these idiots couldn't be any more transparent if they tried. Clearly you don't read comics anymore. Clearly you probably, Tom Taylor done like one or two work before. I think he did The Injustice and people say it was really good, but as far as I'm concerned, he's a hack writer. It's a bloody hack writer, because this is the kind of nonsense that they talk about. And I did a video previously on the fact that, they don't want heroes anymore. Heroes shouldn't be fighting supervillains. Heroes shouldn't stand for something. They shouldn't be heroic. No, what they should be doing is fighting climate change and using their powers to power wind farms and all kind of other nonsense, rather than actually going out there and saving people's lives. That is something that they shouldn't be doing. Let's get into this article. According to Superman, son of Kal-El and Dark Knights of Steel author Tom Taylor, Jon Kent merely existing as a young bi guy with a penchant for pacifism is a far more heroic deed than somebody punching a supervillain in the face, and you wonder why your book continues to fail and everybody's praying that they just completely annihilate it. And speaking of that, they had to throw in more salty gayness, because remember, I also covered the fact that Jon Kent's pink-haired weirdo boyfriend Jay Nakamura gave him a cape with all the pride colors on it. I don't even know what the shit this is. And so all of a sudden you have all of these characters, all these idiots in this pride event nonsense, when they could be going out there and saving lives. No, this is much more important. The DC Comics author shared his opinion on the qualities of heroism during a recent interview with the entertainment news outlet AIPT, given in promotion of his upcoming introduction of transgender Arrowverse hero Dreamer to the mainstream DC Comics continuity in Superman, son of Kal-El number 13. Well, there's another character nobody really interested in at all. In hindsight, is there anything you might have changed or done differently during his run on the series? To which Tom Taylor replied, to the apparently rushed display of Jon and boyfriend Jay Nakamura's first kiss, asserting, I'm a writer, there were things that were like, okay, this has to happen by coming out day, and I would have loved a little bit longer for Jon and Jay to be together before the kiss. Now, you see, you're pretty much telling everybody here exactly what it is I was saying. When this happened, and I'm referring to this, right? This thing that they made international news. They posted it everywhere. This big thing. I called it what it was. DC Comics and Tom Taylor looking to play fast and loose with Superman. They couldn't go after Kal-El, so they decided to go after his son. I said it was a cheap ploy to try and dredge up some sales and pander to a woke audience. People attacked me and say that I was homophobic and I was going against that thing. No, I am going to say it because it's what it is. You pretty much say here, what is it by coming out day? This is what it is. You didn't actually, you didn't care about this character. What you cared about was pushing an agenda to say, well, okay, we do this by a certain period of time. Let's put it out there. Let's put out Jon Kent kissing his pink-haired boyfriend. Let's call it by when we all know it's flicking gay. That's what it is. Forget about the story. Forget about building the character. Forget about anything else. No, let's talk about this shit. And let's wonder why people don't like your books. But having said that, the importance of that moment far outweighs slight pacing issues, he continued. When it makes global news and I'm watching it on SNL or whatever, yes, maybe you could have done with maybe 10 more pages, but as far as global, your writers kept to one side. Yeah, because watch it now, the very day that this came out, that they were going, that they put out the fact that he was going to be this and had this whole thing on him kissing the boyfriend. You see Tom Taylor going around with a Superman logo on his chest, with a man logo on his chest, on a jersey with all the pride colors in it. He was trying to sell and milk that for everything that it possibly could be. It showed what it is. And anybody who has seen, I've done some videos on some of the Jon Kent story. Well, I don't read the garbage, but I have done some videos showing what has happened in some of these books. Not one damn thing in it to point to anything actually good. No, that's a bunch of pointless nonsense. I'll get more to that in a second. Adding to his point, Taylor stated, we somehow managed to keep people engaged without actually having Jon punch anyone for 6 issues. I think that's really important as well. I could have said it better. Oh my God. I will read that back. We somehow managed to keep people engaged without actually having Jon punch anyone for 6 issues, because you're not telling a Superman story. You're not telling a Jon Kent Superman story. You're not telling a Jon Kent becoming a hero story. You're not telling a Superboy story. You're not telling a superhero story. No, what you're telling is a gay Superman story that is failing miserably. And you're coming out here and saying that for 6 issues, he ain't punch nobody, he do nothing. No, what he did was hold hands with his boyfriend, come out to his mommy, and everybody smile and hug up. Absolute shit, So we have a young bi guy who also is just the sweetest, most empathic, nurturing guy who doesn't want to hurt anyone, he said. And I think that's far more heroic than somebody punching a supervillain in the face. So that's exactly why you're a damn hack. That is why you are a hack writer, unable to produce anything with any kind of quality. Because you're a moron. That's what. Nobody wants this. One of Superman's biggest selling titles that doesn't have his name on it is called Action Comics. People want action in their comics. They don't want your Goro pretending to say a young bi guy. He's gay. That's what you did. You turned him gay. And you're pushing it like it's some revolutionary story that people are going to be interested in. Nobody's buying this shit because people see it for what it is. People see you for what you are. You don't give a damn about whether it is, this is going to be any more interesting or anything to anybody. What you're showing is, let's just put together this crap and figure nobody's going to say anything about it. And anytime anybody says anything, is a problem. Tying Jon's pacifism back to Dreamer's upcoming appearance, Taylor then noted to his co-writer on the issue, original Dreamer actress and transgender woman Nicole Maines, I have to tell you, in issue 14 is a moment I haven't told you yet where Dreamer is using things and she's literally blasting people and Jon's just blowing them away and they're side by side. Look, However, though Taylor believes that readers truly want their main Superman title to focus on an intrapersonal relationship drama of a pacifist teenage superhero, sales numbers show this to be far from the case. Yeah? Yeah? According to the official sales report from ICV2, the last issue of Superman Son of Kal-El to rank in the top 50 charts was its sixth in January 2022, undoubtedly thanks to momentum from the previous issue's highly marketed reveal that Jon is bisexual. Now, I stated exactly what that was. Very clear what that was. I said the only reason people bought that fifth issue where they came out telling everybody, oh, you know, Jon Kent likes boys and all that, is because people wanted to own the comic that DC used to shoot themselves in the foot with. That's all. People wanted to own that comic so they could say, listen, I have the comic that DC used to completely destroy themselves, destroy Superman, and that was the end of them. When the next issue came out, it dropped considerably down because people wanted to see, well, okay, are they going to shoot themselves in the next foot with it? That didn't happen. And then the issue after, it fell off completely. And Tom Taylor went around like a total lunatic telling people that, oh, you know, the sales are really good and people lie and they know what they're talking about, one kind of thing. And it continues to drop. It continues to drop. I recently did a video on how Jon Kent cannot put together a super team to save his life. He gone to try and make some new Justice League, and it's a total disaster waiting to happen. They didn't build this character up for anything, absolutely anything. All they did was just throw in a bunch of nonsense into it, and Black Adam told him so that this is doomed to fail, and this is nonsense. But when you, as a writer, will come out and say something like this, it says quite clearly to anybody who's looking at it exactly what your motives are. Exactly what your motives are. And this is what happens when they keep putting writers on books who don't like the superheroes that they're supposed to be writing. They don't like them. They set out to destroy them because they don't like them. Jon Kent's entire run, now, when it was in Super Sons, I saw what was going to happen. I only read like one or two issues and I said, nah, you see, this started to look a little ridiculous. And I was done. Because I saw what they wanted to do early on from since Super Sons was just swap Jon Kent in as Superman. Because he literally had no personality. He was just basically baby Superman. That was it. They would try and throw in a little something every now and again to make it seem like it was him. But I could see that you could literally paint him with any color that you wanted. So they sent Superman off-world, dragged him in, and then decided, okay, let's decide now to say that he's bi, even though we all know what it actually is. And then pretend like this is something that people are supposed to be happy about, entertained by, find some kind of joy with. No, you are not telling any kind of decent story, anything at all. And you're saying it here in the issue that, for 6 issues, he didn't punch anybody, and we think that, he being a young, bi, empathetic guy who doesn't want to hurt anybody is really, people buy comics to read action in comics, good characters. Have you created that? No. No. The hack writer that you are, you've made garbage, and here you are, for all the world to see, letting everybody know that this is your agenda, to turn Jon Kent, who would have been a good hero had they done it better, into a complete mess. Just let it die. That's all I'm saying. This entire thing, Jon Kent's entire story, the whole DC thing, let's destroy all of it because it's done. They don't care about their readers. They don't care about the fans anymore. This is what they care about. Pushing their sick little agendas that nobody's interested in. So according to Tom Taylor, you know, apparently being, I'm not going to call it by, apparently being gay is heroic. You understand me? That's heroic. Don't go and save people's lives. Don't fight supervillains. No, no. Walk down the road in a pride-colored shirt, with a pride-colored cape, and that is the most heroic thing you could ever do. And you wonder why I keep saying you're a hack idiot. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.